Now before I block sand this primer, I want to talk a little bit about the two things that primer is used for. One is adhesion, so if you have any bare metal spots, you have to hit it with primer first because the primer sticks to the metal and then paint sticks to primer. Number two is leveling. So, if we had here's the metal here, if we had a dent that we fixed, the filler is not always going to be perfect. And then you DA sand around the filler, so you got imperfections. After you prime it, the primer follows those imperfections, but when we block sand it, this is a block, when we block sand it, then those things are going to end up being straight. So then after you block sand this, alright, then you're going to have a nice flat straight surface. Even though it's crooked underneath, the primer fills in the imperfections. So this fender had some rust repair and some filler work done on it. This is probably 2 to 3 coats of primer. It's not very thick. I put a little bit of putty here, and up here. We don't have to worry about that. But when I block sand, I'm just going to hit it with a little bit of black paint that'll sit in the low spots. And that's good right there. That'll help guide me and let me know if I have any low spots. And what we have here is 80 grit on a medium block. What you want to do is, when you block sand, is go on these types of angles and like this. Right now I'm just going to concentrate on this nice flat spot right here. Now, I have a little high spot right here. The metal's starting to show through, so I have to stop. And I do have a little low spot right here. The black is showing up. That's just some deep, a deep scratch. Or, yeah, it is a little bit low. So, what we're going to do is fill this in a little bit with putty. I don't think I'm going to knock that down. If it was really severe, I would have to knock that down a little bit, tap it down, and fill it in. Otherwise, I think that feels good enough. We're gonna just sand this block, sand this up here, and then probably DA sand the rest of this, and give it another coat of primer, and then we'll 400 sand that and paint it. So let me block this up here, and then we'll see what we have after that. Now I have it on a bit of a slant, not flat like this. I'm staying away from the crown right here. I'm staying away from that. I have it on a slant, matching the slant of this. And that's real good. I didn't get any high spots or low spots up there. Just a little high spot right here. It showed up real quick, so I left that alone. And now I'm just gonna round off this crown a little bit with 150, and I fold it in half. And there was no damage up here, so this is 150. I'm just gonna hit this by hand real quick so that when we put a coat of primer on, and I'm just going to hit this. This was a little ding. Maybe we'll see the low spot. So you can see the little low spot. You know, I'll put the little more putty in that. It's just very, very tiny bit of a low spot right there. Put some putty in there. But other than that, this can all just be DA sanded real quick with like 220 out here. And then I'm going to put a coat of primer on, and you'll see what that looks like. Then after that primer dries, you 400 sand it. You can wet sand it or 320 on a DA, which the DA will give you a little less quality, but it's much quicker. Or hand sand it, wet sand it with 400 and paint it. But I'll be right back. I'll mix up some primer and we'll hit it with primer and see what it looks like. So I thought some of you would be interested in seeing, you know, what I clean this outside up with a little bit. So what I have here is it's like $35, a little DA sander from eBay. Works pretty well. I got 220 on there. I'm just going to go around the outside of it real quick and clean that up before I hit it with the primer. this sander, I'm staying real flat. A National Detroit, you sort of have to stay on this edge about like that. But with this sander, I can stay completely flat. And that's good right there. We're just going to blow that off. Mix up a cup of primer, about just a little bit at the bottom of the cup. Prime it, and then you'll see the final result. Now, I use a lacquer primer. Again, the good thing about that is there's no waste. After you're done spraying this panel, you can take it, pour it right back into this gallon jug, already thinned. Next time, just shake it up, pour it in your cup, mix it to the thickness you like, spray it, pour it back, so it doesn't harden in the cup or inside of this. So we're going to give this a coat of primer here real quick and see what it looks like. I'm probably going to give that a couple more coats, and then I'm going to hand sand it. I'm going to fix this up here, and I'm going to paint it. But that's what primer is used for, to fill in low spots and to level, and also to stick to bare metal. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please subscribe to the channel.